How's it going, guys? Quick gym tour. Obviously, hangout area. There's the coffee machine, which is super important. You gotta have coffee. Gym workout area. This is gonna all be kind of self-explanatory. That's the office. There's also a changing room in there if you ever need to use it. There's somebody in the bathroom you just need to change. There's a change room in the office. Some of the more important things are, people always ask, where do I put stuff? There's cubbies back here in the corner. We always say pack it in, pack it out. The things we do allow you to leave here are shoes, a pair of gym shoes, especially weightlifting shoes, and a pair of gym shoes. Like, it helps keep the gym clean, floor makes you so you don't have to wear them hiking and all that stuff outside. And then stuff like a jump rope or like a weightlifting belt can stay here. We prefer for you to take your supplements home with you, just because they tend to go bad here if you forget about them. But pack it in, pack it out. That's where you put stuff. Bathroom cups. If you ever drink coffee, the sink is back there to clean your cup and then put it in the rack there for drying. There's a bathroom. Obviously, it's just for one person, so be quick in the bathroom. Don't dilly-dally since there might be a line for that. Water machine, one of the most important things. It's the most confusing water machine in the world. It's not intuitive at all. So one of the things you want to do is you have to select the style of water that you want first, cold or hot. There's a light button here, which I don't even know if that works. But you have to hold down the cold button if you want cold water. Once that turns blue, then you can press it and water comes out. Other than that, that's the entire gym. Real quick, wanted to go over the gym rules. So they're always posted up here, so in case you ever need to reference them, they're always here. A lot of times the coaches will reference them as well. Just want to point out some that are super important. So Q1, number 3, don't clean up gym equipment until everyone has finished the WOD. We don't clean up until everyone is A, it's a safety concern, and B, we like to cheer people on, which goes on to number 4. Don't leave until everyone's finished. Stay and cheer people on. Don't clean up, just wait and do everything in there at the end, and then everyone will leave together. Basically, no one's done until everyone is done. And then keep the gym clean. Number 6, we like to keep the gym clean. It creates a nice environment to come work out in. So leave it like you found it. If you came in and it was clean, leave it that way. And then number 10 here, always remember technique, consistency, and intensity in that order. So super important. Rule number 1 is we always want to keep you safe. Literally rule number 1 is leave your ego at the door, but we want to keep you safe. And if we do that, technique, consistency, and intensity in that order, there's a really great chance that you stay safe and you have a good time while you're here. So rules always posted up there. If you ever need to reference them, check them out. This is a quick tour around the whiteboard. This is where you're gonna come and find out what you're doing for the day. There'll always be a warm-up. The whole thing will be coach-led, so they'll run you through that. But there's a warm-up, there'll be a joint prep. This is what we refer to as strength and technique, so you'll be working either on a strength portion or a technique portion. And then you have the workout, a bunch of different ways that it's laid out here. So we have a level 1 that's already scaled, a level 2, a RX version, and a comp version. So scaled down and scaled up for higher level athletes. All right, back extensions, you're gonna do these a lot. We do them almost every day here to get our lower back strong. Back extension done on what they call a Roman chair or back extension bench. From here, how you're gonna get into this is you are going to hold onto the handles here. You'll put a foot on this kind of horizontal support beam and then bring a leg up underneath the foam roller in the back. And then you'll put your pelvis on these pads here with your hip bones just over the edge. And once you get to that position, you'll bring the other leg up to that foam pad. And at this point, you can take your hands off and support it with just your body. Arms are gonna go across your shoulders like this, and then you're gonna go all the way down to perform the extension. You're gonna go all the way down, almost hitting your head on this vertical support beam, and then coming all the way back up. And you wanna get that hip nice and open here. We don't need to hyperextend, but just coming up to our hip is straight, and into that position to there, and then performing another one, back down, back up, nice neutral spine, back down, back up. All right, we're gonna go over the Dr. Try shoulder reach. Setting up for this one, looking for feet about 6 to 12 inches away from the wall and pressing your spine into the wall. So you wanna get your spine in the wall all the way from the tailbone, all the way up your body to actually into your neck here and head. And what we're looking for is to hold on to that the entire time. So feet press into the wall and then your abs are nice and tight. There shouldn't be any sort of gap behind your lower back there. From here, you're gonna get your ulna, the outside of the elbow, and your knuckles on the wall, and then this hand will be down here. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna reach overhead, trying to get that bicep all the way to the ear overhead, keeping those knuckles against the wall the entire time. And then back down and back up, right? Do 5 on the left, usually 5 on the right. Same position, all the way up, all the way down. Holding that spine on the wall. That's your Dr. Try shoulder reach. All right, here's the arc pause slide, a move that we like to do here to warm up the shoulders and posterior chain. So we're gonna do what I refer to as a lobster claw grip, thumbs on top. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get in the beginning part of almost a deadlift position. So you're gonna push your hips back, letting that bar come right down to the top of the knees. From here, just like the name implies, it will be an arc, a pause, and a slide. So neutral spine, tight hamstrings and glutes, lower back. You will arc the bar up, pause at the top once you reach full extension, that range of motion. Then you'll slide that bar down, coming down top, tapping the top of the shoulders, and then back out and down. So arc, pause, slide. One more time. Arc, pause, slide. That's your arc, pause, slide. Yeah. Hobo stretch. So you're holding the PVC pipe like a sword. You go over the same shoulder that it's in that hand. You'll then reach across with the other hand underneath the armpit, grabbing that stick. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pull that hand, which is around the PVC pipe. We don't want to lose the grip. Pull that hand into that shoulder, and then pull that PVC pipe up, creating a nice tight external rotation through that shoulder, and holding there for about 10 to 15 seconds on each side. Do that a couple times to help get external rotation, kind of warming up that portion of the shoulder, mostly for front squats and cleans. Same thing on the other side, pulling it in, pulling that stick up. That's your hobo stretch. Pass-throughs, what we're looking through with pass-throughs is a nice wide grip. That bar should hit you probably about right where your belt buckle would, and you're gonna pass it all the way through, up and over your body, and then tapping in the back, right in that lower back. Tap in the front, tap in the back. The grip should be wide enough to where you're not hitting that real hard stick point. It shouldn't be painful to get over the top, right? Nice wide grip and then shrugging the shoulders up and over the top. Makes that nice smooth transition to warm up those shoulders. That's the pass through. Good mornings. This bar will start on your back. You'll get to that nice back rack position that you would normally for a back squat. And then from here, you're gonna be bending at the hip almost like a stiff-legged deadlift. Going straight down, waiting for that stretch in the hamstrings. You're trying to get your torso about parallel to the ground. You should feel that nice big stretch in those hamstrings. And then from there, once you get that stretch in those hamstrings about to their extreme, pop back up to that standing position. Once again, back down, getting it parallel to the ground. Once you feel that stretch, back up. Stretch, back up. That is the good one. The Samson stretch, you'll interlace your fingers to press up over your head in this position here, and then you will perform a lunge, whether it's reverse or forward. What we're looking for is a nice tight midline here, straight and down torso. Press and lunge. We're looking for nice tight shoulders, upper back, lower back position, and then standing back up, resetting after each one. Press and lunge. We're making sure that this knee is not over this toe, the torso straight. We're not looking for hyperextension. We're not looking for that stretch there. We're just looking for that tight shoulder position, pressing up through the ceiling, and then back up to that neutral position again. Alternating lines. Ring rows. Ring rows can be done by everybody, depending on how hard you want to make them. Ring rows, you'll hold on to the rings. You will drop back to full extension. And then you will pull the rings back up to your chest. For warm-up purposes, these should be done pretty easy. For workouts, you can make them a little bit harder. To make them harder, you just walk the feet down. And that makes the pull a little bit harder. You're still getting that full range of motion, rings to chest, full extension, rings to chest each time. That is the ring row. Okay, for an air squat, what we're gonna do is the first move for the air squat isn't gonna be down, it's actually gonna be back. So you're gonna get set up, feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed out about 10 degrees, 5 to 10 degrees. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually push our hips back. So weighting down in the heels. So just gonna push your hips back and then you have a weighted heels. A good way to check to see is if you can wiggle your toes, we know that the weight's in the right spot. From there, she's gonna start moving down. She uses her arms for a little bit of a counterbalance, and she's gonna move down into that squat, nice and low. What we're looking for here is this hip crease to be below the knees. We're looking for a downward slope that way. Once we get to that point, we're gonna stand back up and bring those hips back into the top of a nice neutral position there. That's the air squat. All right, push-ups will be performed here. We're gonna start to make sure the elbows are nice and close to the body. We don't wanna see elbows flared out, so hands are gonna be underneath the shoulder, elbows are gonna come close to the body. She's gonna tighten up her abs, and she's gonna tighten up her butt. And what she's doing is she's gonna raise the whole torso and legs up at the same time, coming up to full extension here with the elbows. And then she's gonna return back down to the ground, full range of motion with the chest to the ground, and then back up, raising at the same time, right there, fully locked out each time at the top. That's a push-up. Sit-ups are gonna start in the laying down position, back on the floor, knees up. You can also do butterfly, which would be legs out like that. Either one, whichever one's most comfortable for you. What we do here is we're gonna not pull on the head or cross the arms. We're gonna touch overhead, and we're gonna come up, swinging the arms, and we're gonna touch the laces or the shoes there at the top, and return back to laying down position, touching overhead, returning to that touch of the laces up over top there. That is a sit-up. So burpees, we use them for cardio here mostly. Here's what it looks like. You're gonna start in a standing position. The rules for burpees are you're going to touch your chest to the ground, you will jump, clap, and you will smile. Rule number one, or movement number one will be down on the ground, touching your chest to the ground, all the way down to a laying position. It doesn't matter how you get there. From there, you will return to a standing position, you will jump and clap, and smile. If you go through a couple of them, it looks like this. Chest to the ground, jump, clap. Okay. That's the burpee.
And cut!